Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video, and look what time it is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is of course Old Firm season. Everyone's talking about Scottish football, everyone down south pretending to care about Scottish football, and even the edgelords that's in Scottish football that pretend they don't like the Old Firm is all tuning in to watch this upcoming game tomorrow, people. That's right, the bright lights didn't get much brighter than when Rangers and Celtic go toe to toe, and it's not just the fact that it's of course an Old Firm. There is a sprinkling of sauce on top of it, ladies and gentlemen, as of course it's an Old Firm final. Now, if that just doesn't get the plums plumping, I don't know what will, and maybe I'm recording this video too long because now I'm feeling it. The battle fever, well, truly is kicking in to the veins, people, and with that being said, I think that means we'll just get on with the video. If you are new around here, by the way, we are trying to now reach the goal of 60,000 subscribers for the end of the season. That's the challenge that's been presented, so if you could smash that, it'd be absolutely sensational by either hitting that like button or subscribing, of course, to the channel. But I'm sure something else that would be greatly appreciated is if I just get on with this, and as always we'll start off the way we start off every single preview, by looking at the dance partner, which is of course the team that's sitting first in the old SPFL. Bit rude in my opinion. It's of course Celtic. That's right, Celtic, people. The other half, of course, of the Old Firm. Now, if you didn't like that phrasing, take it up with your own club who renewed that phrasing. But looking at the Celtic side, you look at them coming in, they have been absolutely fantastic, unfortunately, people. Winning 16 of their last 17 matches, scoring 52 goals during that run. Now, me sitting here once again repeating something I've said a couple times now in the last few Celtic preview videos, suggesting that this team is built to go forward, almost seems redundant when you bring that type of statistic, to the actual table, because it's there, the evidence is there. Celtic are phenomenal at going forward, and to be fair, if you look at the actual league table, they have conceded just 18 goals, so technically they've also got the best defence. But people, as we all know, I've got my own thoughts and opinions regarding the back line of Celtic, because to me there's never been a better example of that old footballing cliche across the water over in America. The best defence is a good offence. Well, that for me summarises the Celtic side, because again, I just think they're absolutely phenomenal at going forward, and that is why they keep the back door shut, because they just blow teams out the absolute water. And for the large majority of Scottish football, the likes of the Aberdeens, the Livingstons, etc., they didn't dare attack a Celtic because they're that terrified of what can come if they commit just a couple people out of actual position. I think there is a lot of fear factor that goes into that because of how they're built, and to be fair, the job that Ange Postecoglou has done with his recruitment and the way he set his team up to attack from the first minute to the very last, that explains why they get so many late goals. People can call it lucky, but it's a play style. We've started to see that now under Michael Beale, now that we have a manager again who's not terrified to attack in Scottish football. And again, that's what you have to give the credit to me, in my opinion, because I know I always get flack for saying this, I still didn't really rate the back line of Celtic. And I think if you venture away from the Scottish football, and even if you look at it from us perspective, especially in our most recent game, because again, I did mention Celtic's won 16 of the last 17 games. The only game they didn't win was against us at Ibrox, and Michael Beale's first, obviously, game in charge versus the Old frickin' Firm. And in that game, I don't think I'm going to surprise anyone when I say I thought we were much better than them on that day, and I thought Celtic were very lucky. And I think if we're all having an adult conversation, when you look at it, Morelos played one of them through for a goal, and the other goal that they scored late in the actual game to get the 2-2 draw took 758 rebounds and fell directly to Kyogo to hit in to the back of net. I feel like if we're all being adults, we can admit, Celtic were lucky on that day. And I think if you look at the likes of games and you look at Europe, I know that's ironic considering what we done in Europe, but again, the circumstances, playing 18-year-olds at centre-back, centre-mids everywhere, it was crazy, our campaign. But regarding Celtic, if you look at them, when a team isn't afraid of them, like 90% of Scottish football are, when a team doesn't play to their advantage, even Gio used to play to their advantage at Parkhead and everything by sitting off them and trying to hit them on the counter, that never ever works, because that is their bread and butter. That is what they face week in and week out. If you want to beat the Celtic side that a lot of the pundits and that are calling unbeatable and all this stuff and everything like that, you actually have to go at them and take them out of their comfort zone. We've done that at Ibrox. Again, they got the luck of the green sometimes, but that is football. This is a cup final. It can't end in a draw, people. We keep going till one standing and ones on the ground. And again, for me, the way to put Celtic on the ground isn't to sit off them and watch them and admire them playing wee 5-yard passes and running. It's getting in their face, getting them running that way, and seeing just how good this defence is. But now again, that's something you probably shouldn't say 24 hours before a cup final, but if I'm previewing this team fairly, and if I say how fantastic they are going forward, it's not the same going back, and that's just my thoughts and opinions on this Celtic side. Again, we normally break down if there's been a formation change or anything like that, but Celtic play the way they play. They have one way of playing, and it's been hell of a successful for Ange Postecoglou, especially in Scottish football. But again, there isn't a plan B there, and if plan A isn't working, what happens then? Well, hopefully we find out tomorrow, and hopefully it doesn't actually come in, especially considering the fact that, in my opinion, Celtic's lost 2 very good players in January. Now, it's not really slowed them down so far with the goals that they're actually smashing in, losing Giamakis and Juranovic, if you want the man who lost £20 million value because Fashion, Smile and Sakala, the other mob, if you will. They haven't been so much of a miss so far, but the likes of Rangers coming into this game and everything like that, this type of game for me is when they might miss a Giamakis, a difference maker, a different type of player, and again might miss a Croatian fullback that for me was very solid before Sakala, Pulley, Scanston in front, everyone, and he's went on to have a very good career in Germany so far as I'm hearing. This could be the game you start to look at the likes of these players and say, aye, we maybe needed them for this type of game. That's all I've got to say really, because again, they've no changed too much. They've got very good players, and again, they play and score a lot of goals. And if I'm honest with you people, that's all I've really got to say about the Celtic side. Of course, I made a preview just in January or last month, kind of speaking about them, breaking down them, maybe playing a bit more detail, but I'm not want to bore everybody. Everyone knows what to expect for the Celtic side, and it's from the first whistle to go forward and to try to score and dominate that area of the actual park. Now we can leave that in the rear view, however, and get to the Rangers end, people, which again, it brings me nerves, but it also brings me excitement, because I know when I get to the Rangers side of today's video, that means the video is almost done. Then it's nearly uploaded. Then we're talking in the comment section. Then, before I know it, it's kick-off, and I can't see straight, and I feel sick to my stomach. That's the joy of football, especially when the two giants go ahead and meet, people. And I've got to be honest with you, coming into this game as a Rangers fan, despite what's getting put out there about Celtic this and Celtic that, I feel, especially under Michael Beale, a lot more confident than I did in previous games and everything like that under the likes of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Not just because we got a draw and people can say, oh, look at you celebrating a draw too much. But again, if you look at the standard and the way we played, it was completely different from the way we actually played. And that was just a couple of weeks into the job for Michael Beale. And we talked about Celtic's impressive run. Well, Michael Beale's not been beaten yet as Rangers manager, and again, his only blemish on his record so far competitively has been that draw with Celtic. So with every punch Celtic's been swinging, Michael Beale's Rangers side has been responding, so it couldn't be setting up for a more epic showdown. It's almost Godzilla versus King Kong right here, people. Let's hope we have the final blow. And I think we know how to expect from Michael Beale. I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to get on the ball. I think he is going to put Celtic on the back foot, because again, that's how you beat them, and that's what we saw in January. So that isn't something we're going to break down and how Michael Beale's going to approach this game. It's obvious. We know how he's going to approach. I think what we should do now is probably talk about a couple of the players then, shall we? Because it is a bit nippy as we sit 24 hours before a game, because I've tried to wait as long as I possibly can to get more of a positive update regarding a couple of our key players, but we didn't really get that, as again, as it stands when I'm recording today's video, Tillman, Lundstram, Jack and Kemar, Roofe are all listed as doubts for the game. And Michael Beale's even said in his press conference, a very awkward press conference with Beale sitting here and Ange Postecoglou sitting here, by the way, that's how close they were. It was weird. I'm not getting into it, people. He's came out and said he expects the team to be very similar to the one that played versus Livingston. It was a good game, people, but if Tillman's no in that team, I'm going to absolutely go mental. The more of people, right? I need Malik Tillman to actually be playing in this game. I'm just hoping it's a bit of mind games for Michael Beale, just a wee bit sportsmanship, if you want, talking about they might not make it, the Tillmans, the Lundstrams, the Jackos, the Roofes, they might not make it. Fingers crossed it's some sportsmanship and just a bit of mind games again to keep Ange and his coaching staff from guessing and everything like that and figuring out just how we are going to set up. But if there is one player that we know will be in the game tomorrow, it is none other than young Nicholas Raskin, who again has already made an impression on so many Rangers fans, and it looks as if he's going to be flung neck deep into the fire tomorrow. And for me, I'm not worried about that. That's where you need to put the level of that player and the calibre of that player, and I think he's going to be absolutely vital, because I think if we are to be successful and if we are to have the taps off singing Beautiful Sunday when it all is said and done tomorrow night, it is going to be because we've won the midfield battle, which again is why I want the likes of Jack and Lundstram to be available for selection, people, because I think Raskin's 100% going to play. What about the other one? Do you put a Kemar in there who's got all the technical ability in the world and has shown under Michael Beale that he can perform, especially against Celtic, but do you not want another linchpin in there, likes of Jacko, the Lundstram, and then that allows Tillman, who will, fingers crossed, be the other member of the three-man midfield, the ability to drive forward and really be who Tillman can actually be. That, for me, is where the game will be won or lost. That free in the middle of the park. Fingers crossed we have everyone available selection. But I just wanted to address the major injury worries Rangers have gone in to this game. I'm praying he's just bluffing. The rest of the team, however, remains the exact same with the Hollanders, the Souters and all that stuff. You know I'm not going to sit here and bore you all by repeating the exact same stuff. Everyone else has thankfully came in to the game, especially a Fashion Sakala who has set fire to Scottish football with some of the greatest press coverage. Honestly, heel Sakala might be my favourite Sakala, people, alright? Second half Sakala, heel Sakala, it's starting to get right there, and now that he's been so vocal and that he's been so direct and so honest in his press conference, fingers crossed that means he can go on the park and just talk and be as direct as he could possibly be, because again, despite him frustrating the life out of us sometimes and everything like that, if there is one game in the entire calendar of Scottish football that suits a Sakala, apart from maybe Hearts at Tynecastle because they usually go for it, it is against Celtic, because they will push forward, they will leave 1v1, and that will give a lot of space to Sakala. So aye, he's had a lot to say ahead of this game. Hopefully he does even more talking on the actual park. And if I'm honest with you, people, that's all I've really got to say. I could talk more about this and talk more about that, but it's up Old Firm Cup final season, ladies and gentlemen. The nerves are kicking in, the excitement is kicking in, so I just want to hand the reins over to you guys. I would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are going in to this game, and what do you do with the midfield if you want to answer me that down in the comment section below. Is it a Raskin, a Kamara, a Tillman? Is it Raskin, Jacko, Tillman? What are you thinking there? If you can get everyone who you want to see on that actual part, that'd be greatly appreciated. And aye, try and do the impossible. Try to predict the unpredictable, which is of course the Old Firm. I don't think I've ever got one of these right. In my many years of doing this, I've never once got the scoreline right, but it's changed tonight, people. This is when it happens, right? 1-1 it's going to be for a large majority of the game. We're going to score, probably for the kill streak Kemar Roofe to make it 2-1. Celtic's going to pile everybody forward, and then Rangers will score again to make it 3-1. Or it could end up 1-0. Who knows, people, right? It's the Old Firm, but that's the way I'm going with it. Hopefully it's a fantastic day, and hopefully we're all smiling tomorrow. But aye, until tomorrow's video, which will be after a cup final, people, I've been CJNova92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye.